And Senator, what do you make of Dan Bongino potentially to be the deputy FBI director?
It would have been inconceivable that a person with his background would be head of the premier law enforcement investigative agency in the world. He's a podcast ideologue without any qualification to head this investigative agency with profound and far-reaching power over people's lives to enforce the law and also to potentially misuse the law.
And Senator, what do you make of?
Yeah, that was Democrat Senator Blumenthal voicing his displeasure with Dan Bongino becoming deputy secretary to the FBI or director of the FBI. Now, whenever a Democrat comes out and says something like that, you know that person probably should be in that position. That's why Democrats are angry about it. But I want to address something today. And that is, I want to address Harry Sisson, who I'm sure all of you know this guy's face, Harry Sisson, Democrat influencer, right? I say influencer loosely because who is he exactly influencing? I feel like he gets more, he gets embarrassed more than anything, so he's not influencing anybody. I guess he's influencing me to call him out. So there, yeah, maybe he is an influencer. He influenced me to call him out because of his blatant lie. He recently lied about Dan Bongino, and this is the thing, and I've said this before, and some of you guys probably remember. Democrats lie by omission. So, and they do that because when a Republican comes back and says, you lied, they can sit there and say, no, I didn't lie. And technically, they're kind of right. But the issue is they didn't tell the whole truth. That's where they try to, Democrats play these games, right? And that is exactly what Harry Sisson does in this clip. He lies by omission. And I want to see if you guys can catch it, okay? With that being said, let's dive in.
Major breaking news, Donald Trump and Kash Patel just appointed a MAGA podcaster to be the next deputy director of the FBI. Yeah, that's right. Another Trump-supporting political commentator will be serving in a significant role in our government. Donald Trump just announced, quote, "Great news for law enforcement and American justice. Dan Bongino, a man of incredible love and passion for our country, has just been named the next deputy director of the FBI by the man who will be the best ever director, Kash Patel." This is Dan Bongino, by the way, the man in question. He's spread insane conspiracy theories about the 2020 election, about Obama in 2016, and more, and he used to be a frequent Fox News commentator. He is not qualified for this role at all. The deputy director of the FBI runs the day-to-day operations at the Bureau, and now a Fox News MAGA commentator who has never worked at the FBI will be in that role? Are you kidding me? Trump is just stacking the federal government and these important roles with his buddies and people who are loyal to him. It's insane. My YouTube, my Instagram, and my Substack are linked in my bio. That's where I'm going to be if TikTok ever gets banned.
Did you catch it? Did you see it? Let's go back a little bit. So let's bring it all back. Bring it on back.
That's right. Another Trump-supporting political commentator will be serving in a significant role in our government. Donald Trump just announced, quote, "Great news for law enforcement and American justice. Dan Bongino, a man of incredible love and passion for our country, has just been named the next deputy director of the FBI by the man who will be the best ever director, Kash Patel." This is Dan.
He stopped there on purpose. He stopped there on purpose. He covered all of this, I believe, on purpose. Why would you cover most of the text? And why would you only stop there? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you why. And here it is. Let me read the whole thing and not omit anything. Great news for law enforcement and American justice. Dan Bongino, a man of incredible love and passion for our country, has just been named the next deputy director of the FBI by the man who will be the best ever director, Kash Patel. That's where Harry Sisson stopped. Now let's read on to see why he stopped there. Dan has a master's degree in psychology, and an MBA from Penn State. Boo, boo to Penn State. It's Buckeye Nation over this way, okay? Buckeye Nation. Let me fix that as well. He was a member of the New York Police Department, New York's finest, a highly respected special agent with the United States Secret Service, and is now one of the most successful podcasters in the country, something he is willing and prepared to give up in order to serve. Working with our great new United States Attorney General Pam Bondi and Director Patel. Fairness, justice, law, and order will be brought back to America and quickly. Congratulations, Dan. So Harry Sisson said that he wasn't qualified, that this guy was just a podcaster, which Dan Bongino is a successful podcaster. A lot of you know who Dan is. But he also has a master's degree, an MBA. He was a Secret Service agent. So there's a lot more to Dan Bongino than just a podcaster, okay? You can't tell me you don't want this guy being in the FBI. I worked with Hillary Clinton. She was evil. The stories agents around her have kept bottled up inside are horrendous. Working on her detail was generally considered a punishment assignment. You will never meet a more mercenary and destructive public figure in your lifetime. She hates you. All of you. Yeah, that's Dan Bongino right there. Dan Bongino, baby. Calling the snake out for being a snake. Hillary Clinton. Yep. You can't tell me you don't want that guy. And for those that still may be doubting that he was a Secret Service agent, just check this out. Yep, that's Obama. There's Dan Bongino being a professional. Being a professional. Yep, there you go. So yeah, 100% professional. 100% professional. But then also, you know, one of the things about this is, and I played a little clip of it at the beginning, when Democrats yell and scream or omit things to try to bash somebody, we know we have the right person.
And then there's Dan Bongino, someone who has never spent a day working at the FBI, but will now be the deputy director. Ken, tell us about Bongino's background and what kind of reaction we're seeing to this pick.
Well, the most important thing to know about his background is that, as you said, he hasn't worked at the FBI. This is a job that for 117 years has been held by a career FBI agent, because this person is actually in charge of operations at a very complex law enforcement agency. Dan Bongino was a former Secret Service agent, but he's better known for being a right-wing podcaster, a very successful podcaster who has spouted conspiracy theories. Most recently, Anna, he claimed that the FBI was lying when they said they didn't know who placed the pipe bombs outside the RNC and the DNC the day before the January 6th attacks. The FBI came out with a big information push to try to get more info from the public. They said they were seeking information about suspects. Bongino did a podcast where he said, no, they really know who did it. This is all a cover-up. Well, now he's going to go and help run this agency, and he's going to have to either deliver on these conspiracy theories that he's told his millions of followers about, or tell them that, in fact, no, they weren't true after all. It's going to be a really interesting thing to watch. But look, I can just tell you, there is real consternation bordering on horror from the FBI people I'm talking to about this appointment because of his beliefs and because he has no background in the FBI.
I don't want anybody with a background in the FBI. I want an outsider. I mean, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing but expecting a different result. If we kept doing the same thing, how could we ever expect a different result? We want different results, so we do something different. We get an outsider to go in and do the job. Duh. Second thing, I don't mind conspiracy theorists, because conspiracy theorists, especially those on the right side of the political aisle, have been proven right time and time again. Here's one example. You guys probably all remember when they called us all conspiracy theorists when we were talking about the laptop. Yeah, that was a conspiracy theory to talk about the laptop. And it was real the entire time. And they knew it was real, but they called us all conspiracy theorists, and they pushed that in the mainstream media. And then he said, oh, well, he pushed the conspiracy about the government knowing where the pipe bombs came from. So you mean to tell me the government didn't know where those pipe bombs came from, but they could figure out where anybody and everybody came from that was in the Capitol on January 6th? They found out who all of those people were. They could figure that out, but they couldn't figure out who put the pipe bombs? Really? They could find the little old grandmother who just happened to be in the area and just walked in, and oh my goodness, they found all the people who even wore even a semblance of a mask. They figured out who all those folks were, but they couldn't figure out who had the pipe bombs. I'll even take it back a little bit further. You guys remember 9/11? Yeah, the 2 planes that crashed into the building. You remember they showed us the picture of all the people that were involved in doing that? How'd they figure that one out? They could figure out all of these different things, but you can't figure out who put the pipe bombs there? And it's a bad thing for Dan Bongino to say, no, they actually know. I'll bring it back even closer to our current time. You guys remember the drones that were flying all over the place? And the government was telling us, oh no, we don't know what's going on. We're investigating. We don't know what's happening. And then Trump got in and he was like, yeah, they know exactly what was going on. They were, I forgot exactly what he said, but he told us that it was the government that was doing it. But yet now we're supposed to be suspicious of conspiracy theorists. Okay. Right. Listen, Dan Bongino and Pete Hegseth are 2 guys that you want to be doing this type of job. Dan Bongino's salary was an estimated of $4.9 million in 2024. Jeez. Hey, Dan, let me get a check, baby, please. 4.9 M? Yeah, let me get a little slice. His new salary is $221,000. Major pay cut. Pete Hegseth, salaries was an estimated $2.3 million in 2024. Good money. His new salary, $256K. They aren't in it for the money. They're in it for the love of the country. 1,000%. These aren't guys who are doing this to earn a check. They've made plenty of money in their lifetime. Okay? Almost $5 million estimated in Dan Bongino's case in a year. All right? Down to 200 and something thousand, 221, I believe it was. Let me bring that back up. Yes, 221. Not doing it for the money. Doing it for the love of the country. Wanting to make sure this country operates the way that it should operate. So yeah, I want Dan Bongino. I want someone like Dan Bongino to be in there, amongst others, right? I think folks like that should be in there. So when Democrats come out and try to lie by omission, or Dan Bongino's not qualified, do all this type of stuff. See, and I said that before. Whatever Democrats say, do or believe the opposite. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. When Democrats say, oh, Dan Bongino is a terrible person, you don't want him being the deputy director. If Democrats said that, then yeah, you do. You want him to be the deputy director. Now, if they were clapping for him, ooh, yeah, Dan's going to be in there. Oh, my goodness. Well, then you might want to take a cause to pause, because there's a reason why they're clapping and applauding, or they go silent and don't say anything. That's also the thing. If Democrats aren't yelling, kicking, and screaming, that's a problem. That's a major problem. Take note of that. You don't want that. Whatever they're silent about, be very aware. Be very cautious, okay? But yeah, man, I just wanted to call out the Democrat influencer Harry Sisson for that lie. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. As always, do you guys agree with Dan Bongino being the deputy director? Let me know. Peace and love. I'm out.